Eileen, and welcome to my channel. Well, today I'm going to be making a Golden Glory cake from the 1940s. If you really like pineapple, you're going to love this cake. And with Easter coming up around the corner, it makes a large cake, so you'd have plenty to go around for your family. You can either get 3 8-inch layers, or you can get an 11 by 16 sheet cake, which is what I'm going to do today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now to get this started, what you're going to need is 4 1/2 cups of cake flour. Now the cake flour has been sifted first and then measured, and then it was sifted again with 4 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm going to set that aside. Okay, and we're also going to need 1 stick or 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of shortening. We're going to need 2 2/3 cups of sugar, but needs to be divided because we're not going to add the second one, the 2/3 cup, right away. So we're going to need the 2 cups right now. Okay, and you're going to need 1 1/2 cups of unsweetened pineapple juice. You're going to need 4 egg yolks, and those need to be separated with 4 egg whites. Now the butter, I wanted to say too, has been softened, and the eggs were at room temperature before I separated them out. So, okay, so let me open up my mixer here. Okay, now to my mixing bowl I have added the 2 cups of sugar, and I've held out the last 2/3 of cup. We'll add that later. Okay, and I'm going to add my 1 stick of butter. And I'm also going to add my 1/2 cup of shortening. Alright, that's added. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cream this all together. And also, I almost forgot, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our pineapple juice. So let me get in here. 1. Okay, and we're going to cream that together until it's light and fluffy. So I will be back with you when I get this creamed, and I'll show you what it looks like at that point. Okay, I have beaten I've creamed together the butter and the shortening and that little bit of pineapple juice and the sugar, and this is what we have, and that is nice and fluffy. You can see. Alright, so at this point what I'm going to do is add our egg yolks. And we're going to continue to cream this, so I will be back when I'm ready to go to the next step and show you what to do. Okay, I have my 4 egg yolks added in, and I creamed that mixture as well. So at this point we're going to add alternately the flour mixture and the pineapple juice. So we're going to start with the flour mixture, and you see I'm just adding a little bit at a time here, and add maybe about, I would say about 1/3 of what I had in the bowl. And I'm just going to stir this with my spatula, because again I don't want to overmix this. So I'm going to stir that in. Okay, and now I'm going to add about 1/2 of my pineapple juice. And we're going to stir that in. And I've also had my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and I have greased and floured an 11 by 16 cake pan. Because like I said before, this does make a very large cake. So if you're having a lot of family over, or you're going to do maybe a church dinner or something like that, this is a great size for that. Okay, and we're just going to add some more of our flour mixture. Start stirring that in. Now cake flour, the reason we're going to use cake flour on this cake instead of all-purpose is cake flour has less protein than all-purpose. So the result is going to end up less dense and a more tender cake. And that's what we're going for. Alright, let me add the rest of my pineapple juice. I'm going to get this mixed in. And then I'll add the rest of my flour. Excuse me just 1 second. I'm sorry, my husband usually answers the phone for me, but he wasn't here to do it this time, so unfortunately I had to grab that, and typically it's just a scammer anyway, so just hang up on it. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this together here. Alright, now let's just scrape this off. Get the rest of that batter. Alright. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put this back on my mixer for just about 10 seconds. There we go. Okay, so I'm not going to do this very long, maybe about 20 seconds or so. Just want to make sure it's mixed well. And I would say it is. It looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to take our egg whites, and I'm going to mix these egg whites. I'm going to beat these until stiff peaks form, but I don't want them to be dry. So I will be back with you when I get that part done and show you what to do next. Okay, I have my stiff peaks, but my mixture is definitely not dry. So what we're going to do at this point, I'm going to take this off of the mixer for just a minute. And we're going to just fold these egg whites into our batter. Let me just move that out of the way. And we're going to start folding this in. Let me get this cleaned off here. I made a mess. But that's typical for me. I'm not the neatest cook in the world. I try to be clean, but not neat. Hold on just a minute. Okay, we're just going to keep folding these in until I get them mixed well. Okay, and there that is. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to mix in the rest of our sugar just until it's dissolved. We're not going to mix this real heavy, so I'm just going to keep doing this by hand. Alright, and there is our batter. It is ready to go into the pan. Okay, so I'm going to add this to my 11 by 16 baking sheet, and we're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about, I'm going to check it in 30 minutes and see where we're at. Okay, while our cake is baking, I'm going to go ahead and make the topping for this. Now, this is the same topping that I used for my 7-Up cake. But I doubled it because this is such a big cake, so I'm doubling my 7-Up cake topping recipe. Now I have 2 cans. These are 20-ounce cans of crushed pineapple. And I have just added 2 sticks of butter. And to that I'm going to add 4 beaten eggs. We're going to add 2 cups of sugar. Put that in. And we're going to add 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And let's just get this mixed together well. Now normally you would temper it. Oh, I knocked that over the side. Normally you would temper the eggs, but we're not going to in this recipe because they're all mixed together in the same pot as we're going along here. So I've never, as many years as I have made this topping, I have never once had it had cooked egg in it. So it'll be fine. But anyway, we're going to just kind of cook this until it thickens and that butter melts. And what we're going to do is when I take this cake out of the oven, I'm going to pour this topping over it while it is still warm. And I think what I'll do is also pierce the cake with a meat fork before I do that, so this kind of runs down in it. Okay, well when this thickens up, I will be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, our cake is done, and you can see it springs back when it's touched, and it's just pulling away from the pan. So we're at this point, I'm going to take a meat fork, and I'm just going to poke some holes down through it. Okay, because I want our topping to run down through it. And here is our topping. I want our topping to just kind of run down through it and make it nice and moist. Alright, and here we are. Okay, now that topping is going to thicken up some as it cools, and so we're going to let this cool, and when it gets done I will be back with you to cut it and show you what it looks like. Okay, I have cut a piece of this cake, and I tell you what, that came out nice, good texture in that cake, and the taste is really good. If you like pineapple, you will love this cake. It's very moist, it's very buttery, and I think you'll enjoy it. Well, I thank you for watching, and I hope that you will try this recipe. And I will be listing the recipe and the ingredients and everything below in the description, so you can make this yourself if you'd like. So y'all have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.